Jesus. There's power in the name of.
And to reserve the unjust unto the day of judgment to be punished. He knows how to deliver them. See, God has demonstrated his ability to deliver his people from divine doom. He's shown it already. By Noah, by Lot. And then there's another situation where we could see it. Where God was bringing the Israelites out of Egypt. On the night what we call the first Passover, God gave Moses instruction. He said, listen, Moses, you tell the children of Israel to go and find an unblemished lamb, 1 year old. And I want them to kill that lamb. Take the blood of that lamb, put it on the mantle, put it on the doorpost. And what happens is the death angel is going to go through that city. Amen. And it's going to kill every firstborn child of the Israelites. I mean, not the Israelites, but the Egyptians. Amen. And those that do not have the blood of the lamb on the doorpost. Amen. He said, Moses, you have to do this. They must follow that instruction. He said, because when the death angel roams through the streets of Egypt, when it goes from neighborhood to neighborhood, when it goes from one block to another block, when it sees the blood, yes. He said, I'll pass over it. My judgment will not enter into that home. Yes. So understand this. The hour of temptation is the time of the outpouring of God's judgment upon the world. That's what the hour of temptation is. Where God said, enough is enough. I'm tired of them being so arrogant and proud and indignant. I'm tired of them ignoring my warnings. I'm tired of not paying any attention to the word I sent, the love I demonstrated, the time and the patience I've given. He said, I'm tired. Time must come to an end. Yeah. Yes. Oh yeah, you know that. You know when you got to the end of your rope. You know when you've tolerated someone long enough and it's time to let them know you got to put a stop to it. You know when you reach the point where you said, listen, I cannot take it no more. Don't you think God have an end to his patience? Amen. Do you think, I understand, God has been patient for millenniums. God has been patient. But there's coming a time where the patience of God will have to be set aside. So the hour of temptation is the time of the outpouring of God's judgment upon this world. And y'all know, if y'all read Revelations, that judgment is in what they call the 7 seals of God. Then you go from 7 seals to 7 trumpets. Then you go from 7 trumpets to 7 bowl judgments. And I'm going to tell you, when God pours out his judgment, you think what man can do to you bad is. But I'm going to tell you, this is what God is going to do to some people. He's going to allow them to experience the most horrendous agony and pain in their life. And won't allow them to die. Some people look to death as an escape from the agony of this world, whatever their agony may be. But what if God said you're not going to die? What if you see, some people look forward to death because the pain in their body or their experience in this world has been so excruciating, hard, and painful. So they look forward to dying because they're looking to escape it. But what happens when God says you will not die? You will experience this outpouring of my punishment, and it will hurt you. The hour of temptation is the 7-year tribulation when the Antichrist will be revealed to lead the world into open rebellion against God. Now, I'm going to talk about this later on, but I'm just going to tap on it right now, just so you'll understand this hour of temptation. It's a 7-year period. We call it the tribulation period. It's divided into 2 parts. The first part, or the first half, is 3.5 years of tribulation. Then the second part is 3.5 years, which is called the Great Tribulation, which is going to be much more intense in terms of the outpouring of the judgment of God, as opposed to the first part. Here, let's look at this Antichrist that's going to come. In 1 John chapter 2. So God is saying, I'm going to deliver his people, those that love him. I'm going to rescue them from this time where this Antichrist will be able to operate and function and control things on this world. In 1 John chapter 2, 1 John, that's the epistle of John, that's verse 18. 1 John chapter 2, verse 18. Little children, it is the last time. And as you have heard that Antichrist shall come, even now are there many Antichrists, whereby we know that it is the last time. So there is an Antichrist, and understand that there's a spirit of Antichrist, then there is the Antichrist that's going to be embodied in a person. A person that's going to come that's going to so infatuate the world, going to capture the imagination of the world with all of his abilities to seduce and deceive and to pronounce the wisdom that will bring about order in this world. And we must understand that this world is looking for someone that could rally us together. Looking for someone that could cause these various conflicts that's going on in the world to be settled down. Particularly being able to settle the conflict over there in the Middle East between the Israelis and the Palestinians. They're looking for someone that could stabilize this economy, where that people could prosper all around the globe, where there is no disparity between the haves and the have-nots. They're looking for someone that's able to exercise authority that will show that men could rule this world and they could do it in a dignified way. They're looking for someone that they could put their hope in. Someone that they could put their trust in. Someone that they could say, he's our Savior and our deliverer. They're looking for someone. They're looking for someone. And he's going to arrive. The Antichrist, he's going to arrive. But it's not going to be till after God removes his people from this world. It says in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. Verse 3, it says, 2 Thessalonians come after 1 Thessalonians. Second Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3, it says this. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. So there's somebody that's going to come in this world. Somebody that's going to have the charisma. He's going to have the acumen. He's going to have the qualities that everyone will validate and say, listen, we're going to put him in power. We're going to support him. He's the one that we've been looking for to bring order and peace and stability in the world. He's the one that we need to bring unity amongst every human being. He's the one that's able to speak, and everyone just seems to swoon when he speaks. No matter what he says, somehow it fascinates the imagination. They're looking for somebody like that. Someone that's able to have confidence and assurance, that's able to garner the respect and garner the loyalty of nations and military might and power. Someone that marshal all the forces of this world. They're looking for someone like that. But he's not going to come until after Jesus comes back to receive those that he is delivering and keeping from the hour of temptation. I'm going to tell you, you don't want to be caught in the hour of temptation. You say it's nothing. Listen, you don't want to play with the hour of temptation. You don't want to go to stroll through the hour of temptation. And we're going to look at some of the events that's going to happen during the hour of temptation so you can make an educated decision about where you want to spend eternity.
Amen. Yes, sir.
Yeah, you don't want. And so Jesus said, because you have kept the word of my patience and obeyed my word, I will keep you from the hour of temptation. God loves you so much that he makes a distinction between you and those that would experience the hour of temptation. God bless you.
Say it again, Jesus. There's power in the name of